This is me, Soonkie, an aspiring singer-songwriter and YouTuber. This is me without makeup, and this is me with makeup. Clearly, the topic for today is the power of makeup. If you're interested in knowing how I transform from this innocent look, or whatever you want to call it look, to this where my high school friends have difficulty recognizing me look, keep watching. First up, these are eyeliner tattoos. Just in case you wonder, oh dear, this looks so racist. Anyway, let's start. Firstly, contact lenses. I'm using 14.5mm black contact lenses. You can already see a huge difference. Secondly, double eyelid tape. This is to make my eyes look bigger and even out my uneven sized eye. You need to do this even before you apply any product on your face, because if you put it after, the tape will not stick as well. And I want to say, applying double eyelid tape is a whole new set of skills, so I'll be addressing it in another video. Next, primer. I'm using Maybelline's Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. It smooths out your skin and gives you a great base to start. Make sure you cover every area of your face. Remember your neck as well. By the way, if you are doing this in the daytime and you are going out, remember to put sunscreen on before you put on a primer. It's midnight here, so I have skipped that part. Now, the foundation. I'm using Maybelline's Dream Matte Mousse. A tip to choosing the right color of your foundation: choose the color that matches your neck. Pick up just enough product, not too much, not too little, and even it out all over your face. Now, one tip. When applying makeup, it is important to apply it at an area where there's sufficient light. Not yellow light, but sufficient even white or daylight, so you could accurately see what you're applying on your face. For an example, sometimes if you are using low light to apply your foundation, you might miss certain areas, especially if you are a beginner in applying makeup. And if you're putting colors on your face, such as your eyeshadows and blush, if you are doing it under yellow light or insufficient light, the color that comes out might not be what you think it is, and you might end up looking really off when you go out and meet your friends. Now, concealer. The concealer I'm using today is Maybelline's Master Conceal. I am using a sharp tip brush to apply my concealer. Now, using a fine tip brush is important, so you could conceal precisely onto the imperfect area that you want to, and not applying a big dab of unnecessary concealer that will just cause discoloration to the perfect skin. And you really only need a very little amount of concealer. And I want to add in is the brush that I'm using is actually a concealer in itself that I have already finished using. Yep, but because the brush is so good, so I kept it. So that's a tip for you guys to save some money. Now, conceal away whatever you think has to be concealed. For me, I conceal my pimples, my pimple scars, redness around my nose, and I leave my freckles alone because I think it's kind of cute. Notice I am doing a dabbing motion instead of a rubbing motion to blend the concealer, so I don't move the concealer, otherwise it would just smudge the concealer away and defeats the whole purpose of concealing in the first place. Now, moving on is the primer of the eyes. I'm using here Benefit's Lemonade Color Correcting Eye Primer. I use this to cover up my dark eye circles. Now, be careful here. When you cover up your dark eye circles, be careful not to do it too close to your eyes. Otherwise, it will reduce the size of your eyes. Now, because I have stickers on my eyelids, I have to be extremely careful when I apply primer over my eyelids. When it comes closer to my eyelids, I will then need to use a dabbing motion instead of a rubbing motion. If in any case that you accidentally rub off your eyelid stickers, remember that there is no products underneath their stickers, so you could take the sticker off and put in a new one. It will still stick. Eyeshadow time. I'm choosing a bigger, fluffy eyelid brush so it holds more product as I will be covering my entire eyelids. I am choosing a very faint peach color as it's only a suggestion color and it shouldn't be too pigmented. This baby here is L'Oreal's Paris Infallible Paints Eyeshadow Metallics Rose Chrome. Notice again, because of my double eyelid sticker, I am using a dabbing motion instead of a sweeping motion to avoid the stickers from sliding off. Next, I'm using a more pigmented peach pink color with a smaller, less fluffy brush to apply the second layer of the eye color. The color that I'm using is from Maybelline's Hyper Diamonds Eye Color. I'm putting the colors 1/3 in from the outer corners of the eye. Now, even though you have no double eyelid stickers, dabbing motion here is useful, so you could keep building up the colors to the intensity you like. I am also including the lower outer corner of my eyes 1/3 in as well, and I blend the upper color to the lower color. Next, I'm using a dark brown eye crayon from Too Cool for School, and I'm applying it close to my lash line. I'm attempting to cover up my double eyelid stickers. So, I'm a monolid girl, or at times hooded eyelid girl. I don't know about you, but I always find it really awkward when people can see my double eyelid tape when I blink my eye. It's rather distracting. It's like halfway when they're talking to you and all of a sudden they say, "Oh, what's that hanging there?" So every time when I put my double eyelid tape on, I apply it as close to my lash line as possible and cover it up with a color like this, so it looks like an eyeshadow instead of a double eyelid tape. Some of you may ask, what's the point of putting double eyelids so close to your eyes? The size of the eyes hardly change. For me, less is more, and I don't think I look that great with big eyes anyway. Everyone gets different results from these tapes, and there are many types on the market. There are invisible ones as well if you want to get them. And try and error is the key to create the look you like. I will be addressing it more in my other video. Now I'm using L'Oreal's Lumiere 502 and a smaller and firmer brush. The reason for choosing this brush is because I'm now covering a smaller, defined area of my eyelids. I'm building up the intensity of the brown of my eyelid tape. You can also see that I am going higher beyond my eyelid tape. Not too much higher, but a little bit more. This will create an illusion of a bigger eye. Next, I'm using another smaller and firmer brush to pick up the golden brown from Maybelline's Hyper Diamonds Eye Palette. And this time I'm applying the color onto the first third of the inner corner of my eyes and the last third of the corner of my eyes. Now I'm also applying the color onto the last third of my lower eyelids. And lastly, I'm using the darkest brown from Maybelline's Hyper Diamonds Eye Palette again to put another shade of brown onto the edge of the second third and the last third of my eyelids. And also not forgetting the last third of the lower eyelids. Eyeliner time! I'm using Revlon's Color Stay Brown Liquid Eyeliner. And I'm filling in my tape with the eyeliner. I choose this eyeliner because it gives me a dark matte brown finish where it dampens down the shininess of the eyelid tape. I think it's a pretty good eyeliner because it doesn't smudge and it dries really fast. While choosing an eyeliner, it's important to choose something that dries really fast, especially if you have hooded eyelids, as it can become really messy when you blink your eye. Now the final last touch. I'm using the light yellow color from Maybelline's Hyper Diamond Eye Palette and applying it to the inner corner and also the first third of my lower eyelids. This will help open my eyes a little bit more. Now let's curl the lashes. I'm using a lash curler. I'm curling my eyelash twice, one close to the base of my eyelash and the second time in the middle of the eyelash. Now the second time, I actually push my eyelash curler back into my eyeballs to actually give that strong last curl to my eyelash. Now the other eye, same rule applies. Now for fake eyelashes. I'm using Manicare's Glam Natural Eyelash. I like these eyelashes because of its strong backing, which will further push my eyelids upwards and further increase the size of my eyes. Now apply some glue onto the fake eyelash and wait until it's semi-dry and then put it on your eye. Use the tweezers to help you to put the eyelash accurately in place, and do it for both eyes. Up next, use the liquid eyeliner to fill in any gaps that you could see in between your eyeballs and eyelashes. It's important to do this so that you have a sleek finish and not look like you are an amateur. Next, I'm applying mascara onto my lower eyelash. I'm using Maybelline's Pumped Up Colossal Volume Express. And I'm also using a cut-out eye-shaped cardboard to avoid mascara from messing up with my lower eyelids. Next, fake lower eyelashes. Now I've already picked one that I like and I have already cut it down into individual eyelash. You could buy this individual one straight away, but because I have this lying around in my house for quite a while, I'm not gonna waste it and I'm just gonna work with it. As you can see now, I'm putting 3 individual eyelash onto each eye. Eyebrows. Now, firstly, I give my eyebrow a comb. And today I am going to use a brow card to draw my brows. Now your brow card should have a straight line as a reference guide. Make sure you have that line as straight as possible so you can draw an even brow. Here I've marked the boundaries of the brow and I'm now filling in the gap. Notice that I draw my brows starting from the middle section and I'm placing a heavier weight towards drawing the end of my brows. And after that I'll start doing the front of my brows and I place a lighter weight. And this will create a more natural eyebrow look. Okay, now it's done. Now I'm brushing my brows to even out the brow color. I'm using the brush at the back of the pencil. Oh, by the way, the brow pencil that I'm using now is the $1 AOA Sculpting Brow Pencil. And the quality is pretty good for the price that it's asking for. Next, contouring. Now I'm using a medium-sized flat fluffy brush to do it. And I'm using Revlon's Sculpt and Highlight Kit. First, I'm using the banana color to highlight my nose and my forehead. Now contouring is going to bring your makeup look to the next level. The principle is pretty simple. Whatever feature you want to raise, you use the color that is lighter than your skin tone, and whatever you want to dampen down, you use a darker color than your skin tone. And what I'm doing now is to create a higher nose, and I am darkening the side of my nose, and I'm using the Sculpt color of the kit. And I'm using a medium density soft brush to do this. This brush is helpful when it comes to blending. I'm starting the stroke from underneath my brow and all the way down to the tip of my nose. Now remember to blend this properly so it looks natural and not look so dramatic. Remember, while you choose the color of your contouring powder, the bigger difference between the color of your contouring powder and your foundation, the more dramatic look you will get. If you are doing a day makeup and you wish to achieve a more natural look, using a slightly darker foundation color to act as your contouring powder would achieve a more natural look than using a color from a contouring kit. Now I'm going to contour the ends of my face to give it a little 3D effect. And I'm using a big fluffy fan brush to do this. Now I have a pretty defined jawline. For some culture it looks good, but for certain culture it doesn't look that great. So it really depends on what you like, so you contour accordingly. Blush time! I'm using Benefit's Dandelion Blush. The way I like to do this is to pull the blush all across my face. As I have quite a long face, this will balance out my face. So even for applying blush, there are ways to do it on different types of face shape. I might make a tutorial out of this as well. Lips! I'm using Maybelline Baby Lips Cherry Kiss. This is a lip balm. The color is really sheer, so I could get away with applying it really fast and achieving a natural look. Now to complete the look, I'm using Rimmel's 014 Black Fender eyeshadow and a medium-sized brush to color my scalp. As you can see, I am born with very little hair. Finally! This is how I look after makeup, and this is how I look before makeup. Okay, I was shocked myself. What do you think? Do you think that this is the same person? Please let me know down below. I would love to read your response. Anyway, this concludes the power of makeup. Hope you get something out of it. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe for more fun, cool, and informative videos. And I shall see you next time.